Today's story starts here in Cork, in the Republic of Ireland, a university city located in the southwest of the country. It's a great place to not only learn, but to live. Now we're heading over to the town hall in the centre of Cork, where the Mayor, Paddy McGuinness, has just been sworn in for his second term in office. But even though it's all smiles for the famously kind and warm family man as he becomes Mayor for the second time, behind the scenes, him and his wife were struggling with a scandal. Because Paddy has been having an affair with his secretary. Not only that, he got his secretary pregnant. His wife had found out and she'd sworn that she'd tell the whole world what he'd done unless he got rid of the girl and the baby. So Paddy did what his wife asked, and young Claire Ahern was left alone with a child with postnatal depression and no one to call on but a father. With it all being too much for the young girl, she decided the only thing she could do was dump the baby at her dad's door, leave a note with the little lad and run away for a brand new life in Australia, never to be seen again. When Bill Ahern opened the door and saw that beautiful baby in the basket, he instantly fell in love with little Connor. They would form a bond that would never be broken. So as the years rolled on, Grandad and grandson did everything together. On his first day of school, Grandad was there to hold his hand and make sure he was okay. Every day after school, they'd stop off at the park and Bill Ahern would tell his grandson stories of the olden days. But young Connor had something weighing heavily on his mind. Because when he was at school, all he wanted to do was play football. But he had no skill, no technique, no ability. He had all the heart in the world, but he never got picked. If he did get picked, he got picked last and he got stuck in goal. He just wanted to play football because football was his true love. He loved going watching his local team, Cork City, every week with his granddad. It was a special thing they both shared together. And one day when they returned home after a football match, he sat down with his granddad and really told him how he was feeling, how sad he was that he just wanted to play football. He just wished he was half decent, but he couldn't kick a ball. He had no skill, no technique. No one wants to pick him for their team. Is he ever going to get to play a game? And his granddad looked him in the eyes and said, "Son, don't worry. You can be whatever you want to be. You put your mind and your heart into something and you truly believe you can do whatever you want, son." So he started to tell him a story about an old Manchester United player called Brian Robson, who started his career with West Bromwich Albion and then moved on to Manchester United, where he became one of the most famous number 7s the club's ever had. But even though he ended up becoming an England captain, Brian Robson always said when he was younger he wasn't a good player. He wasn't even touted as being a good player, but he trained harder, he stayed behind and practiced more, he never gave up, and he fulfilled his dream. So Bill thought the best thing to do is to help young Connor. He loved his grandson, so every day after school, instead of sitting in the park telling each other stories, they practiced and practiced and practiced. And a year later, even though Connor still had no technical ability, he'd run and run and run. He was determined, he was a great teammate, he had a great work ethic, and he made it onto his local youth team. It's the happiest day of Connor's life and probably the proudest day of old Bill's. But happiness turned to sadness because in a couple of years, old Bill, now in his 80s, died of a heart attack. Connor was devastated, carrying his granddad in the coffin. He couldn't believe it. He had no one. He had no one in this world. He had nothing. His granddad had been everything. His dad, his mum, his friend, his brother, a guiding light, someone who inspired him every single day. How was he going to survive without him? The next day he was in town and he just felt like the whole world was passing him by and he was on his own, stuck in slow-mo. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Where's my life going to lead? I really, really wanted to be a footballer. Could I become a footballer? Could I make him proud? Well, his life was going to change because he saw a news article in a local paper. Cork City were holding open trials at Turner's Cross Stadium. Surely this would be that one chance, surely, with his granddad looking over him, he could have a chance here, a shot at getting in the team, or at least becoming a footballer for a small amount of time. What did he have to lose? He had nothing, he had no one. So he signed up. So he turned up at Turner's Cross the next day signed up and was given a tracksuit and had the most amazing trial. The scouts and the coaches were all unanimous in saying he had no technical ability at all, but this kid had something. He had the right mentals and determination to maybe become something. So the next day, they signed him up on a youth contract. Proudest day of Connor's life. He knew his granddad was there with him that day. And he quickly did well in the youth team. Fantastic. Again, no technique, but he had the kind of mentals that would make him a great captain. He never gave up for his team, and his teammates loved him. As a friend, as a person, and as a potential future captain of Cork. And at the end of the year, he won Young Player of the Year. But young Connor's story was far from over. This kid wanted to do big things, but could a player with no technical ability at all, nothing but determination, work rate and stamina, really have a great career? Could he really go and play in a big league? Could he ever play for Ireland? Well, he believed so. He always believed in himself, and his granddad always believed in him, and he knew his granddad was always with him. Could he make it as a top player? We were going to find out in the story of the Tenacious one. Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me for the Tenacious one. Hopefully, if you're new, by the end of the video, you'll become a subscriber. If you're already a subscriber, as always, thanks for watching another one of my videos. Make sure after this, you go and catch up on anything else I've been doing. Why not? The Denton Villa series is my long-running series. I've got a weekly Journeyman series, and I've got more of these stories that I've already made. And I've got more of these stories that will be coming out over the coming weeks. But yeah, thanks for taking time out of your busy day to come and join me and watch this today. Now, in some of my last videos, I've really started to realise how important mentals are. I've said this before, and it's probably my bad, but I've never paid 100% like full-on attention to mentals. But I've started to realise that players with great mentals can become better players. They get stronger, they can get better skilled. So I really want to put this to the test. I want to make a player who isn't world class. He's not got the potential to become a Lionel Messi or Ronaldo. His potential range it's in the brackets of a championship player in England or like a mid-level, mid-table Premier League player, which is still an amazing level to be at. I'd love to be that good. So, you know, anything can happen to him. I'm going to see what happens in his career, but he really is going to be starting with no technicals, like really bad technicals, just mentals. He's just got good work rate, good determination, he's strong. I think he's got a bit of stamina. He might have a few other things, but it's all going to see, can he make it with the right mind? Can he become a great player? Can he make his granddad, his dead granddad, can he make him proud? Well, we're going to find out in today's video, so make sure you smash the like button if you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Let's get into it. Here we are with Connor Ahern. He's 16 years old and he's in Cork City under-19s. And I've called the episode the Tenacious one because I like the word. It means like never give up, don't waver, stick on the path to doing what you want, determined. Now, I've also, like I said, I want to see if mentals can carry someone and have a great career. Now, don't get me wrong, you look at some of their mentals, they're great, right? I mean, but all they can do is throw a ball, which ain't hard, concentrate, decision making, he's determined, he's a team player, which doesn't mean anything. He'll work hard, he's got stamina and strength because he goes to the gym, and he's fit because he trains. He ain't got any skill. He ain't got any technique, can't tackle, can't take a penalty, can't pass, can't mark, can't shoot a ball, can't head a ball, can't hit a free kick, no first touch, can't finish, can't dribble, can't cross, can't hit a corner. I mean, he's slow as well. He's slow. He might go to the gym and run, but I mean he's quick. And then the rest of his mentals, he's not an angry person, he's not very composed, no flair, not a leader, off the ball, all that stuff's not very good. Even his positioning ain't great. He's just determined. Now, I know they're like quite high, some of them, but this is a story. But I mean, if you find a player with great mentals, maybe you can mould him into being a good player. We're going to find out if he can become a great player just from having great mentals. Because I've seen that happening now, where players are great, who have the great mentals become good, and the players who've got all the technical ability and shit mentals become crap. So I just wanted to have one player, one story, and let's get at it. So yeah, here he is. We're going to see what he gets up to. And he's starting here, and I didn't realise this. I picked Cork because I used to have a great friend from Ireland, and he was from Cork. I didn't know they were the current champions on the game, but they are. They've won the league in 2017. I think they've won it another time in the last 20 years. Great place. So, you know, it's a great place for him to start. But can he build up for his career? I mean, I've just holidayed and holidayed about 20 years in the future. So, I mean, he could go anywhere. He could just stay in Ireland and he could step down to a worse team. But on here, to be fair, maybe it shows you the quality of the team. This is no offence if you're Irish, but a player with 0 technicals is their best player and their best hot prospect. So I'm guessing he's going to have a good start here at Cork. Now, you may notice he's only worth £3.5 grand. He's on £30 a week, so he's rich. Now, he is an industrious defensive midfielder. Does that mean he can just run and battle it? Can't really do anything else. But he's professional. He's going to try his best to make his granddad proud and become a footballer, a good level footballer. He's, of course, a Cork City fan because he used to go with his granddad. Similar type of player to Conor McCormack. Conor McCormack also plays at Cork City. Got a bit more technical ability than he has, though, but fair enough. And you'll also see he's got a preference to play for Cork, a die-hard Cork City fan, and he aims to be in their first team in the coming years. This kid's determined. He's got this far. He never used to get picked for a school team. His granddad helped him get where he is, and he's here today. He's going to grab the chance with both hands. What kind of career is he going to have? We're going to find out. Let's jump into the future. Well, we've jumped forward about 8 years into the future. It's now 2026, and he's 24 years old. And I'm pretty shocked. Not only am I shocked because he's in the Premier League, played for Watford. He's also been at Derby. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But he's properly improved. I didn't think he'd be able to improve his technicals, but it shows you, doesn't it? If a guy's determined, he's now resolute. He really will try hard. He's properly improved his passing, his marking, his positioning, all the things he needs to do to become a good central defensive midfielder. He's really worked at that. You imagine he's trained harder, so I bet you if he had worse mentals. Now, I know I could have done two brothers or whatever and we compare them, but I think we've already done that. I know for a fact if he had a bad attitude, he'd be crap and he wouldn't be where he is today. I know it's his mentals. That's why I didn't want to do two players, because I know that now. We've had two players, Jekyll and Hyde. Hyde was had bad mentals, didn't get to where he should have been. And then we had the Portuguese lad in the Lost Ones. Again, packed with technical ability. Bad mentals, didn't get where he wanted to be. This kid's got no technical ability. It's about the mentals, isn't it? Mentals are massive. Quick look at his info. There's an industrious defensive midfielder still. He's resolute and he's reserved. Again, so you make him chilled out, or you find someone who's reserved and chilled out but determined. They're just going to sit back. You're going to get no grief off him. They're going to give it 100% to improve and for the team. Honestly, I know I sound silly. I played this game for 20 years, but this whole mental thing, I should have paid it more attention. I should have. And this is definitely solidified at this video. This is definitely my last mentals video, I can tell you that much. What makes me laugh though, his agent is called Dave Cooper. One of my best friends is called Dave Cooper. We used to play Football Managers together. I was United, he was City, Manchester City all the time. That's well weird. Wants to win a trophy and he's excited at his team's chances in the FA Cup. Would like to one day be captain at the club. Has a preference to play for Cork City. Cool if he goes back there one day. But what's cool is he's got 49 caps for Ireland. Scored 1 goal. Here's his history. And he's been at Watford for ages. So he actually signed for Watford. There you go. Signed for Watford for 1.4 million. If they sell him soon, they're going to make some profit there, aren't they? Blimey. Loaned him out to Derby while he was still young. So, you know, he had a good time at Cork. I mean, his average rating is never going to blow you away, though. But it looks like he does a job, obviously. He's gone and played in the Championship for a season. Watford brought him back, and they've slowly been easing him into the team. When it comes to competitions won, runners-up in the President's Cup. Winners of the Premier Division, so we've got a title there. And runners-up in the President's Cup again. And made his debut for Ireland whilst playing for Cork. Wow, that is awesome. And whilst playing for Derby and Watford, he's not managed to win anything yet. But he's still got a long time. Like, what is he, 24 years old? He's like three years away from hitting his peak. So he's still got the world in front of him. And I'm guessing now at 24, they usually say on the game, don't they, that players will stop getting better in big ways at 24. Keepers can get better a bit older, I think. I just quickly want to show you this, because I always say I don't like looking at awards because there's loads of them, isn't there? But for Cork, he was in the best team 11 2 years running. And for Watford, he got Young Player of the Year and Player of the Year a couple of years later. Now, if we go to Ireland, they're now 31st in the world, and he's not the captain. His leadership was low anyway. I didn't make him a leader, so I can't see him ever really becoming a captain. But he's like the second. He's their key player, and he's second on the list behind Troy Parrott. Who is Troy Parrott? If he's real, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know if he is real actually. Might be a regen. I'm not sure, but he hasn't got a face on the face pack. It'd be cool if he could do something cool with Ireland, wouldn't it? I'd love that. So Connor, my friend, he's 24 years old. He's put on nearly a stone, about 9 or 10 pounds. He's actually grown an inch as well from being 16 years old. And he's obviously a lot more money. He's got no family. He's got no one. He's got a girlfriend now. Hopefully he can settle down and have a family of his own. But for now, what I want to do is I want to go forward a bit more to when he's really in his peak. And I think the one after that will be the end. Right, we're going forward 5 years. 29 is when you're right in the middle, innit? They reckon is it 27 to about 32 when you're in your best year. So 29 is a great place to come back. It is the year 2031. And he's playing for Spurs. He's worth 65 million. This kid started his career. All he could do was run. He was a great team player and he was determined and he could throw a ball. How's he ended up being worth this much? Is it really? Mentals are massive, aren't they? I keep saying it. He's now, the media describe him as an elite midfielder as well. 99 caps for Ireland, 5 goals. I mean, I was hoping he'd have a career for the story part of it. Did I think he was going to be playing for Spurs? And being like a legend and all that? Because he kind of seems like he is one. He's still obviously reserved. He's got a couple of former managers who are his friends as well. He's resolute and an elite midfielder. And would like to one day be captain for the club. I don't think he's ever going to be captain though, can't see that. Definitely looking to try his hand at coaching. Wants to be a coach, that's quite cool. Has a preference again to play for Cork. I hope he goes back there. Wants to win a trophy and loves the chances in the FA Cup. I hope he's won a trophy because since he left Cork he hasn't won anything last time we looked. 99 caps for Ireland. I hope he's had a World Cup, a good World Cup. 3rd place or 2nd or even won one. And there's his playing history. So he was sold in 2027 for 44 million. So they made a massive profit, didn't they? Wow, Watford are laughing. And he's gone to Spurs. His first year at Spurs didn't play too much, but he got bought in January then. Yeah, missed that one. Must have got bought in January, so he played the rest of the season for Spurs. And he's played every year. Now, again, I've said this in other videos. Defensive midfielders never seem to get over 7s, even though they play fantastic for you. I don't know if it's the role. You've probably heard of Loki Doki. He's said the same in the past about defensive midfielders. They don't seem to blow you away with their average rating, but don't be fooled by that. That doesn't mean they're a shit player. Do you know what I mean? You can't be shit to play all the time for someone like Spurs. So he never won anything for Watford, but when he's got to Spurs, he started to win stuff. He won the Carabao Cup, and then he was runner-up in the Community Shield, and then he won the Carabao Cup, and then he's just lost. So last year, runner-up in the FA Cup. So, he's got 2 decent cup medals to his name, been at Wembley a few times, so, he's doing okay. Go over to Ireland, they've crept up in the rankings a little bit over the last 5 years, and now 29th. He's still a key player. He's their #1 player. He's actually taken over Troy Parrott, who's now at Fiorentina. Looks like he's a career man in Italy, that guy. So at 29 years old, he's the #1 guy. He's like the Roy Keane without the arseholeness. He's not aggressive, is he? He's not an arsehole. So he's probably at his height of his powers. Powers I never thought he'd get to. I know I give him like maxed out like teamwork and work rate, but that's what I want him to be. Like someone who's spent the last few years really focused on doing what he's good at, which was getting stronger, which was his mentals, which was getting fit. Do you know what I mean? He was crap at everything else. That's all he could do. So I wanted him to be good at that. I didn't realise it was really going to help push him through to become a pretty good footballer. A footballer with the passing a 15, marking a 15, position a 16. He really has improved. It's brilliant. I love it. Right, we're going to jump forward now to the end of his career and see what happened to him. Well, here we are. It's now the year 2038. Now he plays one more year. This is the summer. He's going to play this next season, and then he retires. I'll have a very quick look at him at the end. But I just wanted to look at him as his last as a player, because I've saved it once every year kind of thing. So yeah, he's 36 now. He played for Ireland 159 times, scoring 7 goals, and his skills are still pretty decent. I mean, what he achieved is still good. I mean, even at 36, from being 29 to 36, he still improved his positioning by 1. His positioning ended up at 17. The guy really did try his best. He was never quick, so that's never been an issue for him, because he's still very slow. He's just lost his agility. I'm just buzzing with them technicals. I mean, he really has done well for himself. He's obviously now a veteran midfielder. Bloody veteran. I wish I was 36. He's coaching qualifications, so he's starting on his badges now. He's got his C licence. He's still reserved. Wants to win a trophy. See what happens at your age. I doubt that's going to happen. But, you know, good luck. Here we are with his career, and it's a bloody long one. To spend, what's that? Like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And he has 17, including this season coming up. Years in the Premier League. Wow. I mean, wow. To play as many games as he's played. Buzzing, man. So, yeah, he's gone the last couple of years at Spurs there. I don't know what's going on. I think he's got this injury thing, actually, I want to talk about. So he's not played as much in the last 2 years, but he's gone to Leicester, stayed in the Prem, and put in a full shift for them all year. You might be able to help me with this, but I've never seen this. If you know my stuff, you know I like having young teams. When players get to 30, I usually get rid of them. I'm all about, I like making my own players and pushing them through. So I've never seen this. I don't know if it's come out this year or an FM18 or whatever. But he's had this now for a couple of years. If you go on it, does not train. I've never seen this. So the player has a recurring injury, which is aggravated when playing matches. This will result in him being unfit to train for a short while after taking part in a match. It's like King, wasn't it? The guy who used to play for Spurs, had the bad knee, couldn't train. So he can't train, but he just put in a full season. The guy just does not give up. He is a legend. Look at competitions won. Last thing was that Carabao Cup. Obviously, he got to the FA Cup final, we saw that. And he got, with Spurs, in 2033 to the Europa League final and lost that. Unfortunately, and obviously, he's obviously never done anything with Ireland either, which also is a bit sad. But you know what? I thought, I wanted to see how much could push. I mean, great mentals, like top class mentals really would. And no skill really would make you, could you do something? And I think he's shown it you can. And even though he's in his last year of football, this is going to be his last year, he's still in the Ireland team. Kid just does not surrender, does he? The guy is tenacious. So here we are, it's a year on, and Connor is actually under-18s coach at Leicester. So he stayed at Leicester. They took him on as a coach, which is awesome. So yeah, obviously his mentals have done enough, because a lot of the time with this, these players don't get a job. They'll become a manager of a coach, and a lot of you always say, make a video, see what they get doing, see what they get up to. And a lot of them don't do anything. They just retire a couple of years later and disappear. But fair play to him. And he's starting off with no ability, really. But you won't put it past Conor Ahern becoming one of the best coaches ever, would you? He'll work at it and work at it. I mean, I just reckon he will. And as always, if you want a quick look at his biography, feel free to pause the screen and have a bit of a nosy. But I'd love to know what you think of his career. And have I made you think about mentals more? Because I definitely have thought way more about mentals. You want to see my notebook? It's different than it ever has been when it comes to some of the players I'm looking for. So there we go. That is the end of the Tenacious one. Thanks for watching it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I enjoyed putting it together, and I think it's my final nail in the coffin of my mentals experiments. Really was interesting to see what he did. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Hopefully, if you're not a subscriber, you're going to hit that subscribe button. Come join the family. I'm on the road to 8,000 subscribers. So yeah, thank you to everyone new and old who have subscribed and who've watched this. Yeah, brilliant. That was brilliant. Honestly, I love that. Right, hope you have a good day. Hope you've had a great bank holiday weekend. Stay safe. You've been amazing. I've been Bood. I'll see you next time.